Before we dive into today's story, if you find value in these lessons, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to Soul Stories. Your support helps us create more content to fuel your journey. Now, let's begin. Imagine a room where the sun never reaches. A basement where the air is thick with the smell of stale pizza crusts, empty beer cans, and the hum of a gaming console that hasn't been turned off in 3 days. This was the kingdom of Leo. At 25 years old, Leo was a ghost in his own home. He was a student on paper, but in reality, he was a master of the later. For months, he had postponed his final exams, watching the degree he once wanted slip further into the background. His days were a repetitive cycle of doom scrolling through social media, losing himself in virtual worlds, and numbing his mind with junk food. He was overweight, his skin was pale from a lack of sunlight, and his eyes were hollow. He was living a life without a floor, falling deeper into a pit of his own making, avoiding every ounce of responsibility. The silence of the basement was shattered one Tuesday afternoon by the heavy footsteps of his father, Robert, coming down the stairs. "Leo, look at this place. Look at you." Leo didn't look up from his screen. "I'm studying, Dad. Just taking a break." Robert grabbed the controller and pulled the plug. The screen went black. "No more lies, Leo. Your mother is upstairs crying because she thinks she failed you. But I'm the one who's failed by letting this go on. You are 25. You have no job. You aren't finishing your degree, and you are a burden on this house. I can't take it anymore." Leo's voice cracked. "I'm trying, okay? It's hard out there." Robert leaned in, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and heartbreak. "Hard. Life is hard for everyone. But you aren't even in the game. You have 1 month to find a job and show me a date for your final exams. If you don't, you need to pack your bags. You need your own apartment, your own bills, and your own life. We are done enabling your disappearance." Robert walked away, leaving Leo in the sudden, deafening silence of a dark room. For the first time in a long time, Leo felt the full weight of his misery. He felt disgusted by the person in the mirror. The next morning, driven by a raw, painful hunger he couldn't satisfy with food, Leo stepped outside. The sunlight felt like a physical blow to his eyes. He walked pointlessly toward the local park, his heart racing just from the effort of moving his body. He sat on a bench near the playground, watching the world move on without him. That's when he saw a man his own age, pushing a toddler on the swings while a beautiful woman laughed nearby. The man looked healthy, vibrant, and present. Leo realized with a jolt that it was Ethan, his best friend from middle school. Ethan looked over and squinted. "Leo? Is that you, man?" Leo tried to hide his stained hoodie. "Hey, Ethan. Long time." Ethan walked over, his smile fading as he saw the state of his old friend. He saw the dark circles under Leo's eyes and the way he couldn't hold a gaze. Ethan sat down. "Talk to me, Leo. What's going on?" Leo broke. He told him everything. The basement, the gaming, the failed exams, the shame of living off his parents. He admitted he felt lost, like a glitch in the system that no one wanted to fix. Ethan listened, then looked at his wife and child. "You want to know a secret, Leo? 3 years ago, I was exactly where you are. I was drinking until dawn and staring at the ceiling, wondering why the world didn't owe me a living. I waited for a miracle, for a mentor, for a sign." Ethan put a hand on Leo's shoulder. "But here is the truth no one wants to tell you. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not the government, and not a stroke of luck. You are the only person with the keys to your cage. I didn't change my life by winning the lottery. I changed it by deciding to be the man my family deserved. Small steps, Leo. Not giant leaps. Just win the next 10 minutes. Then win the next hour." Leo went home that afternoon. He didn't turn on the console. Instead, he pulled the wires from the wall and put the machine in a box in the attic. He spent 4 hours cleaning the basement, bagging the trash, and scrubbing the floors until his hands ached. In a dusty corner, under a pile of old magazines, he found it. His discontinued academic schedule. He traced the dates with his finger and found the next available exam window. He marked it in red on the wall. The transformation was slow and painful. The first time Leo went for a jog, he couldn't finish a single mile. He felt like his lungs were on fire. But he went back the next day, and the day after. He landed a job at a small neighborhood cafe. It wasn't a dream job, but it was a responsibility. He worked the morning shift, serving coffee with a forced smile that eventually became real. After work, he would jog for 30 minutes, the sweat washing away the shame of the past year. Then, he would sit in the library until it closed, relearning the subjects he had abandoned. By the second month, Leo moved out. He found a tiny, cramped studio apartment that smelled of old paint, but it was his. He scrubbed the walls. He organized his desk. He turned his social media into a tool, following only those who pushed him to be better. He kept Ethan's number on speed dial for the days the darkness tried to crawl back in. The day of the final exam arrived. Leo sat in the lecture hall, his heart steady. He didn't feel like a ghost anymore. He felt like a man. He took the exam and, weeks later, received the news. He had passed. He had his degree. A few months later, Leo drove to his parents' house. He wasn't there to ask for money. He walked up the driveway carrying bags of fresh groceries and a bouquet for his mother. When Robert opened the door, he didn't see a burden. He saw a son who had come back from the dead. Leo's life finally made sense. He secured an internship with a salary that allowed him to breathe. He was still working on his fitness, still growing, but he was finally moving forward. The moral of this story is simple. Your current situation is not your final destination. We often wait for a grand moment of inspiration to change, but change is found in the mundane discipline of doing what you hate to get where you want to be. You are the architect of your own prison, but you are also the holder of the key. Stop waiting for a savior. Look in the mirror. That is the person who is going to change your world. Thank you for watching this story on Soul Stories. If Leo's journey resonated with you, please give this video a like and subscribe to join our community. Your support allows us to keep sharing these voices of transformation. We want to hear from you. What part of Leo's story hit home for you? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And tell us, what kind of story would you like to see next on our channel? Your feedback means everything to us. Until next time, stay disciplined and stay strong.